Was something different about watching Cartoon Network at night. Not scary, not loud, just quiet. The room would be dark. The TV glow would be the only light. And even though the cartoons were still technically for kids, something about it felt slower, softer, almost sad. As a kid, I didn't know why it felt that way. I just knew that when Cartoon Network hit that late night stress, the mood changed. And rewatching it now as an adult, it finally makes sense. Cartoon Network during the day was chaos, bright colors, fast jokes, characters yelling, falling, exploding, and resetting like nothing mattered. It was background noise while you played with your toys, ate cereal, or waited for dinner. But at night, nighttime Cartoon Network felt like it was talking to you. Not everyone, just you. Think about it, the shows that live in the space. Samurai Jack, the quieter episodes of Courage the Cowardly Dog, and even Ed, and Eddie felt different once the sun went down. Same animation, same characters, but suddenly the silence mattered. There was longer pauses, wider shots, less explaining. As a kid, that was new. Most children's shows are loud because they're afraid you will look away. Late night Cartoon Network didn't beg for attention. It assumed you were already there. And if you were watching that at that hour, you probably were. Rewatching Samurai Jack now is the clearest example. As a kid, I thought it was just a cool action show with swords, villains, swag. And as an adult, it's about isolation. Jack isn't just fighting evil, he's trapped in time. He's displaced. He doesn't belong anywhere. Every episode resets his loneliness. Entire stretches go by with no dialogue at all, just footsteps when a distant enemy, no jokes to fill the silence. That silence was the point. Back then, I didn't think, wow, this is deep. I just felt heavy. And when the episode ended and the next one started, it didn't lift that feeling right away. That was different from daytime cartoons, which always hit reset. Late night Cartoon Network let emotions linger. Even Courage the Cowardly Dog, which everyone remembers as scary, was actually incredibly lonely. Courage lived in the middle of nowhere, no neighbors, no town, just an empty stretch of land. Mira was kind but distant. Eustace was cruel and emotionally unavailable. Every threat came from isolation. Most episodes weren't even about defeating monsters. They were about being alone with fear. As a kid, you laughed nervously. As an adult, you realized Courage was living with constant anxiety and still showing up anyway. That just hits different. What makes this era special isn't that the shows were dark. It was that they didn't rush to comfort you. They didn't say everything is okay. They said, sit with this. That's rare, especially for kids. Late night Cartoon Network didn't talk down to its audience. It assumed kids could handle quiet moments, that they could process feelings without everything being spelled out. And in doing that, it accidentally spoke to adults too. That's why these shows aged so well. They weren't just entertaining children. They was introducing emotional language before we had words for it. Another thing I didn't notice as a kid, the environments. So many of these shows take place in empty worlds, desert, empty towns, wide skies, long roads. There's a reason for that. Empty spaces let you project yourself into them. While Jack walks across the red sunset, you feel that walk. When Courage stands still, listening to something, he can't see you. You feel that tension. There's a room to think, room to feel, room to be alone, safely. And that's probably why late night Cartoon Network feels so tied to memory. It wasn't just the shows, it was the moment. Everyone else asleep, no distraction, just you and the TV. Those shows became companions, not a loud hype way, but quiet, understanding way. As adults, we chase nostalgia thinking that we want jokes back, but we're really just chasing a feeling, calm. The sense that something understood us without needing to be explained itself. Late night Cartoon Network didn't sell stories the way kids TV usually does. It trusted silence, and silence sticks. That's why rewatching these shows now feels emotional instead of funny. You finally understand what they were doing. They weren't trying to teach lessons, they were creating moods, and moods last longer than jokes. That's the reason why people say cartoons were different back then. They weren't better because they were darker, they was better because they respect stillness. They let kids feel things without telling them how to feel. That's rare, and that's why years later these shows still live in people's heads. Late night Cartoon Network didn't feel lonely because it wanted to make you sad. It felt lonely because it met you where you were quiet, tired, thinking, and sometimes that's exactly what you need.